Hey, loser. What? What are you up to right now? I've got college today. Why? Did something happen? College? What a waste of money. Get your butt home. Now. You don't have the brains for that to be worth a dime. You aren't good for much at all. Come straight home. Have you made plans for dinner yet? Do you know what you're making? Wait just a minute. I'm getting a transfer to a university. Have you forgotten? You're nothing but an unemployed leech. You're really going to talk that way about your own son? I know I didn't get into the program last time, but I'm studying to try again. I know in my heart I am going to make it this time. This time next year, I'll be a university student. You don't have to worry about me. You can say what you want. I really don't care. Your plans don't interest me at all. You don't have to take it that far. You and your plans aren't interesting to me at all. You're the failure of this family. It would have been better if we never had you. We should have just had Kenneth and stopped there. I know that Kenneth is your favorite. But I'm the one that is studying and trying to make something of myself. And you know what? I don't care. I don't care what you guys think of me anymore. I'm going to live my life and it's going to be a good one. I have plans for what I'm going to do with my life. I know who I am going to be. What? Who cares about that? I already know who you are. You're a failure that can't do anything and will never amount to anything ever. That's who you are. The least you could do is handle making dinner every night. At least you would be giving something back to this family. But you can't even seem to handle that much, can you? Why can't you support me even the tiniest bit? I'm studying hard. I know I can get a transfer to a good school. Is that so much to ask? You know, Kenneth is still just a junior in school. He has another year before he is going to be getting into college. Why do you guys put him first all the time? Why am I supposed to make his dinner and take care of him? I'm busy with school and studying. If you're going to keep whining and complaining, I'm going to yank you out of that community college. I'll make you quit. What? I'm paying for everything myself. Why would you even say such a thing? Am I not supposed to be able to rely on you for anything? You're my parents. I've been working part-time to pay for all my classes and tutors. It sucks that I failed the first time, but I did my best. That's why I'm working so hard to get in this time. I don't know what you are trying to get at, but it doesn't even matter at this point. There's nothing you could say to make me care. You're the worst. How do you even call yourself a parent? You're a loser! I don't even want to think of you as my kid. I meant what I said. I wish you weren't mine. I wish I just had Kenneth. Your father feels the exact same way as I do. Wow. Seriously? You're going to go there? You're a waste of space. You are a good-for-nothing louse. You aren't worth what it costs to feed you. You'll never amount to anything. Why don't you go ahead and move out? What? Is that really how you feel? That's exactly how I feel. This isn't just about you skipping out on your chores or not making dinner. You know that? You also keep talking back to me, and I won't have it. I don't need some back-talking piece of trash for a son. Why do you even exist? I wish you'd never been born. I don't even know what to say. I'm in shock. I didn't know there was a parent alive that would say that about their own son. You really do hate me? That much? Ha! I don't care enough about you to hate you. I've got Kenneth. He's always such a good boy. He's so smart. And he's always studying, too. You know the biggest difference between you two? He has a future. He's going to be someone I can be proud of. He's going to be a doctor. Just you wait and see. He's my bright and shining star. And you're just something in the way. If that's really how you feel, then I will move out as soon as I can. Can you wait for me to save up the money to get a place of my own? It won't take long. Just enough to get the deposit on an apartment. It should just take a couple of months. Not a chance. Really? I've already packed your bags for you. They'll be waiting by the door. If anything is left tomorrow morning, I am taking it to the dumpster. That's way too fast. I cleaned out your room. I'm turning it into a study for Kenneth. What are you saying? He already has a room. Isn't that enough? I've read it is better to study in a different place than where you sleep. It helps you focus. With you gone, he's going to be able to really concentrate and focus on his studies. I've decided that that's what's best for him. So you want to get your things and head out today, okay? This is truly the worst thing I have ever had happen to me. And you've done plenty of horrible things to me in the past. But this tops the list. I could never have imagined you doing this to me. What do you want me to say? You've already managed to fail at life. That's pretty amazing, considering how young you are. That's enough. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'll come grab my things. I don't want to see your face, so we are going to go out for dinner tonight. Just grab your things and go. Don't be there when we get back. What are you doing? Where are you these days? Huh? Mother? Is that you? It's been years since I've heard from you, you ungrateful child. Huh? What are you talking about? You kicked me out. What do you want now? You're working these days, aren't you? I am, but what has that got to do with anything? If you're working, shouldn't you be sending some money back home to your parents? That's the proper thing to do. Where's the money? You haven't sent anything. What? What are you talking about? You kicked me out of the house. You haven't reached out to me a single time since, either. And now you're asking me for money all of a sudden? Don't talk back to me. I've never bothered you about it before because, as dumb as you are, I just assumed you'd never be able to send much. But you need to give us what you can right now. Why are you asking me for money out of the blue like this? And honestly, why should I send it to you? You've never shown me an ounce of grace. I'm not really feeling like I owe it to you. How dare you talk to your mother like that? What is wrong with you? You really are a loser, aren't you? Your little brother is working hard to become a doctor, and you? What have you done with yourself? You aren't good for anything else, so at least send some money our way. I'm a doctor, Ma. Huh? You wanted to know what I did with myself? I became a doctor. You always told me how I would never amount to anything. How worthless I was. At least that gave me the strength to work hard. Not because you supported me, but in spite of you. I've been able to make a good living for myself all on my own. And I did it with absolutely no help from you. What are you talking about? You're a doctor now? You never had any interest in me, even from the time I was a child. You never paid any attention to me. You never asked me about my hopes or dreams. I'm sure there is plenty you don't know about me. I was studying to get into med school. I also always wanted to be a doctor. What? I know I told you all about it. I have my dreams, and I know I talked about them. But you never did anything but look down your nose or laugh at me. Huh. You told me you were planning on going to med school? You kicked me out of the house when I didn't get into school on the first try. I spent a really hard year studying, working, paying for everything all by myself and living on my own. But it was all worth it. For every hardship I had to deal with, I've become stronger. And life has only gotten better and better for me. You really are a doctor now? Yes. What about it? I'm still an intern, but that's just part of it. I finished school, I'm a doctor, and I'm happy. I can't believe this. Anyway, what about Kenneth? How is he? Huh? Was he able to go straight into med school? He ought to be graduating soon, shouldn't he? If he's 2 years behind me, that ought to be about right. Will he graduate this year? Then he would start his internships in the fall. Or summer, even. Not yet. Oh. He hasn't graduated yet? What's up with that? What year is he now? I told you not yet. What do you mean, not yet? He hasn't gotten into med school yet. It's expensive paying for him to not work and to have tutors all the time. I was thinking it would be helpful if you could send a little money to help pay for him. That's why I contacted you. He isn't done with university yet? What's going on? How many years has that been going on? I don't want to hear it. You know Kenneth. He's a delicate young man. He can't help it. He isn't like you. He needs a gentle hand. This year he just didn't feel ready for the MCATs. But I'm sure next year he will be ready to take them. So he isn't working. He's just going to university? That's what you need the money for? Well, he quit university after his first year. What? I think he prefers to study at home in his room. He's just always buying things off the internet. He's racked up some pretty serious credit card debt at this point. That's why I want you to send some money. It'll help out. Things? What kind of things is he buying? And what does that have to do with studying? You can't just study all the time. That isn't how life works. It's important to take a break and have some fun now and then too, you know. Let me get this straight. He sits on the internet and just buys things all day long. Stuff that has nothing to do with studying. And all these years he hasn't gotten a job or worked a single day either, has he? He just sits in his room in front of his computer. He's studying! Whatever you say. I am not going to be paying for that. You can go ahead and forget it. Why not? You said you're a doctor, didn't you? I can't believe Kenneth is struggling and you're the one that became a doctor. Who would have thought? You've been able to do what you want, so pay up. It's your turn to help him out. Send some money for Kenneth. Seriously? You must be joking. The only reason I was able to become a doctor is because I worked for it. I did it all on my own. Why am I supposed to pay the very people who kicked me out so that they can pay the bills of a freeloader who has no intention of ever going to school or becoming anything, much less a doctor? That isn't for you to worry about. Life is hard for poor Kenneth. And I'm telling you that that is his problem, not mine. Kenneth and you have looked down on me for my entire life. You kicked me out to make a special study room for him. And for what? Tell me, was it worth it? I don't have to sit here and listen to this. I'm your mother. You don't think you owe your parents anything? I don't feel like I owe you a cent. What's more, I don't want to ever hear from you again either. What are you saying? You haven't said a word to me in years. You never checked on me to see if I was okay. You never cared at all. Let's go back to that, shall we? You became a doctor. You can afford to help. Won't you? You really plan on just ignoring me and not paying anything. You've treated me like crap my entire life. You've never helped me, even half as much as you have Kenneth. It's never been fair with you. Honestly, you're the one that owes me, if anything. I ought to have taken you to claims court for it. Claims court? You practically abandoned me since I was a small child. The minute Kenneth was born, you dedicated all your love, time, and even money to him. You gave me little to nothing. And when I really needed support, when I was at my poorest, working hard to get into university and had nothing to my name, you threw me out on the streets. Don't you think it is a bit ridiculous that now you are here asking me for money? After everything you have done to me. We don't have any money right now. None at all. That's why I reached out to you, Tyler. Oh, so you do remember my name. Huh. I don't know when the last time you used it was. This might sound bad, but I don't want to hear from you again. Never call me, never text me. Why not? You had forgotten I existed. I had put the past behind me too. I'm going to block you. I don't want you to try to contact me anymore. You're lying, right? You wouldn't just throw away your mother, would you? Who threw who away first? Good luck on that perfect life you always dreamed of. Enjoy living with a shut-in that spends all your money on junk. Don't try to contact me again. Lauren tried contacting her son over and over again. She tried reaching out to Tyler through email, texts, even social media. He blocked her contact and never returned any of her messages. Kenneth continued on the same path. He never did try to tackle the MCATs. He spends all his time locked away in his room. He even takes his meals alone in his room. He isn't doing a lot of studying, but he still does a good bit of shopping. His parents are busy trying to pay for everything he buys. Tyler finished his internship and started working at a university hospital. He loves his job and makes an excellent living. He met a wonderful woman, and they married before long. They've started a family and are very happy. He is living the life he always dreamed he would. No thanks to his parents.
We need to talk. I can't believe you're still married to Natalie. She's not right for you. How many times do I have to tell you that she's just not a good wife for you?
Oh, hey, Mom, yeah, of course, what's up?
I saw Natalie today, whilst I was out shopping, and she looked to be spending an awful lot of money. She had quite a few bags with her, and I even watched her walk into a salon where she was probably going to get her hair, nails, and who knows what else done.
Okay, and is that a problem?
Of course it's a problem. She shouldn't be wasting money like that. She should be giving it to you so that you can spend it how you want to.
Is this about me being unemployed again?
Oh, I am not blaming you, dear. I know that you worked as hard as you possibly could. It's not your fault that your boss couldn't see your potential. But whilst you're unemployed, your wife should really be giving you all of her money to do what you want with. It's the role of a woman to provide for her husband whatever he needs. So Natalie going off and getting pampered really isn't okay. She should give you that money so that you can go and get pampered if you want to.
Mom, that makes no sense. She's worked hard for that money. She pays all the bills and rent, she pays for food and gas for the car, and if we go out, she has to pay for that at the moment as well. So if she wants to treat herself a little bit, then I'd say that she more than deserves it.
That's the problem with you, Tony. You're too sweet and soft. But the fact of the matter is that Natalie, whilst earning for the both of you at the minute, is simply not distributing her money properly. And so, if she won't agree to give you everything, then I think that you should leave her.
Excuse you?
Well, I just can't believe you're still married to her. She's not right for you. How many times do I have to tell you that she's just not a good wife for you? The fact that she'd rather spoil herself than spoil you just proves it.
It doesn't prove anything. And I can't believe you'd suggest that I divorce my wife simply because she's earning a bit more money than me at the moment. I mean, we've talked about this before, Mom. I love Natalie, and we're happy together. So please don't try to interfere in my relationship and make things harder for me. I'm already stressed enough being unemployed. I don't need you adding to my misery.
But sweetheart, can't you see how much happier you'd be if you left her? She's holding you back. You could be so much more without her.
At the minute, all I'd be without her is broke and probably on the streets or living with you. Not exactly what you'd call the best scenarios, right?
I wouldn't mind if you moved back in with me. We could have fun. I'd have my little boy back under my roof. I'd cook all of your meals for you, do all of your laundry. It honestly is the best place for you to be at the moment. Plus, you know that you can trust me because I'm your mom.
Look, as much as I'd appreciate that, and I do love you because you're my mom and all, but I don't really want to move back in with you. I'm happy with my life with Natalie. Sure, I might be going through a bit of a rough patch at the minute, but she's been there for me 100% and has supported me through everything. There really is no one better that I can think of being with. I really do love her.
No, you're a mama's boy, and she's taking advantage of that. She's trying to separate us. I didn't say anything at first because I wanted you to be happy, but I just think that Natalie isn't a good fit for the family.
That's not what you think at all. You just don't like the fact that I have another woman in my life who I love.
She's just a family ruiner. Can't you see that?
Okay, I think that maybe you need to go and calm down. Think about what you're saying, and then once you stop being so, well, argumentative, I think you should apologize for all these accusations you've been making.
I'm not making any accusations. They're all true.
No, they're not. Now, I'm gonna go. I'm quite busy. You can talk to me when you can be more civil.
Fine. Natalie, hello. It's Dorothy, Tony's mom.
Hi, Dorothy. Yeah, I've got your number so it comes up with your name when you message. How are you?
Well, there's no need to be so condescending, is there?
Huh? I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm sorry if you thought that's what I was trying to do.
Whatever. Look, I didn't message you for just a general chit-chat.
Oh, is something wrong?
Yes, there is something wrong.
What is it? Nobody is sick, are they? Or had an accident?
No, nothing like that.
Oh, then what's the matter?
I'll tell you what the matter is. You are.
Huh?
You go around acting like you're some big shot. Like you're the most important person in the world, but you're not. And you're especially not the most important person in Tony's life. I am.
I don't understand.
Well, I'm not surprised that you don't. You're not the brightest, are you? I just mean that you are the one causing problems in my family. A family that I don't think you're suited for.
Where's all of this coming from? I've been married to Tony for 3 years now. Surely if something was wrong, you'd have told me from the start.
Well, I wanted to, but I didn't want to upset Tony. He means the world to me, so his happiness is paramount. But lately, I just don't think that you're conducive to his happiness, and to him having a good life.
But why not? I'm not a bad wife. I do whatever I can to make sure that Tony is happy and that we are happy in our relationship as well. There's nothing else really that I can do.
Well, for starters, you can give him all of your money from your job.
Huh? What?
You heard me. He deserves all of the money that you earn on a daily basis.
Well, as a couple, we share our finances, so I don't really see the problem there.
No, not share. Give it all to him. You need to pay the rent and the bills, and then whatever is left, you need to give to my son.
But how is that fair to me? I'm the one who's gone out and earned all of that money with my hard work. I don't see why I should have to give everything up to Tony.
It's what a good wife should do. You're his wife, which means you serve your husband, no matter what. So, if Tony hasn't got work at the minute, it means that he can't earn money, which means that you need to give him yours.
But relationships don't work that way.
I see. Well, there's one other way that you could help him.
How's that then? I want to make sure that I am doing what I can for him, because I know that this is a difficult time for him. So if you know of a way that I can help him, then I am willing to listen.
Okay then, you can divorce him.
What?
You heard me. Look, it's really affected him to lose his job. Show him your support and comfort.
Tell me, what do you need to be quiet?
Huh?
I really don't want to talk to someone who is trying to ruin my marriage. I love Tony, and I'm not going to divorce him just because you said so. So what do I need to do for you to be quiet and stop spouting all of this nonsense?
You can't talk to me like that. I'm your mother-in-law. You need to respect me.
I will respect you when you actually start to respect me. And when you don't go around telling me to either give Tony all of my money or to divorce him if I won't do that. What kind of person says something like that?
It's for the best. All you are trying to do is separate me and my son, but I won't let you. He is my son first, not your husband. You could never love him like I do.
Do you actually know how hard I work for my relationship with Tony? I wake up every day at 4 a.m. just so that I can get ready for work, which I leave for at 6 a.m. every day. I then work all day until 6 p.m., at which point I come home and either cook for Tony, if he hasn't that day, although he's usually good at doing the dinner at the moment. When we're both working, we swap the days on who does it. And then lately, I've been helping him sift through jobs to try and find something that he would like to do and what he would be qualified for. All the while, I am paying for literally everything in the house. The bills, the rent, the food, you name it, I'm paying for it. So yeah, actually, I think I can love my husband just as much as you do as his mother.
Oh, please. I could do all of that with my eyes closed. Tony would be much better off divorcing you and moving back in with me.
Right, that's it. I'm done talking to you. Please don't message me again, as I won't bother to reply.
Oh, so you're just going to be ignorant now? Huh? How mature of you. I'm sure Tony would be interested to see how you treat his mother. Natalie?
Okay, Tony, look, I know Dorothy is your mom and that you love her very much, but she has crossed the line.
Natalie, what's wrong? What has she done?
Your mom has just messaged me telling me that I need to divorce you because, basically, I'm earning too much money and you're feeling insecure because of this?
What? That's not true at all. God, she was going on at me earlier about how I needed to divorce you and saying that I would be much better off without you, which is total rubbish. I told her to go away and not to message me unless she was going to apologize. I guess she didn't learn her lesson, though.
It's not okay that she's trying to split us up. We need to do something about it.
I know, but what can we do? I don't want to just obliterate my relationship with my mom, because I love her, but at the same time, I want to teach her a lesson and make sure she knows that it's not okay to try and meddle in our relationship. She also needs to get over this whole obsession with me moving back in with her, because no matter what, that would never happen.
Well, I know that, and so do you. But you're right. She needs to learn that fact as well. And I think I know the perfect way to make her see sense.
So, Tony, have you considered what I told you to do? I can get the divorce papers for you quite easily. A friend of mine has a son who's a lawyer, so it wouldn't be difficult to get what you needed. That way, Natalie can stop ruining our family, and we can go back to being happy.
Mom, that's not what she's doing. Natalie isn't ruining our family at all. If anyone is ruining our family, it's you.
Huh? Me?
Yup, you heard me. You constantly make things difficult for Natalie whenever we come to visit you or there's a family vacation, and you make it difficult for Natalie. You also make it difficult for me. She's my wife and you're my mom. I don't want the two most important women in the world to me to be fighting all the time, but if you're gonna continue being horrible for no reason, then I'm gonna have to take matters into my own hands.
I've sacrificed so much for you, and this is how you repay me? By choosing her over your own mother? How is that fair in any way? I mean, don't you feel a little bit emasculated being the one without the job, whilst your wife works and makes all of the money? You must be a little annoyed at that.
Not in the slightest. In fact, I'm incredibly grateful to her for all the help that she's given to me over the last few months whilst I've been unemployed, but neither of us will have to worry about that for much longer. In fact, I'll be the one making all the money soon whilst Natalie takes time off of work.
Oh, I see. As soon as you're working again, she gets to sit back and relax and spend all of your money? Is that right?
Nope, not exactly. After all, she can't expect her to work when she's heavily pregnant, can she?
Hang on. What? Natalie's pregnant?
Yep, we found out a couple weeks ago, but we wanted to wait until the first trimester was over before telling anyone anything.
Oh, congratulations! I can't wait to meet my grandchild.
Yeah, about that.
Yes?
You won't be meeting anyone, let alone our child, just yet.
Huh? Why not?
Because we don't want your horrible behavior rubbing off on our child. Your behavior towards my wife is deplorable. I don't want my child being taught that her mother is no good and then coming to me to ask me to divorce her. And frankly, I'm sick of your overbearing, demanding attitude. I'm never going to move back in with you. I'm not going to divorce my wife, and I'm not going to demand that she give me all of her money like some 1950s housewife. Me and Natalie are a team, and a strong one at that, and we'll face all of our problems and challenges together. And not you or anyone else is going to ruin that. Now, you can change all of this if you just work on your attitude and how you talk and act towards my wife. If you start to be kinder and actually stop trying to control my life, then me and my wife might be willing to let you meet our child. Until then, though, I think you need to give my family some space until we're ready to talk to you again. I'll still visit you every now and then, but it'll be on my terms, okay?
You can't do that. It's not fair. That'll be my grandchild. I have biological rights to see it.
No, you actually don't, considering me and Natalie, the kid's parents, are still alive and therefore have final say on what happens with our baby. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an interview to get ready for, and I have a really good feeling about this one. See you later, Mom.
No, wait. We can talk about this. Tony.
Like I said, I cut my mom off from my family until I felt like she could at least be civil towards Natalie. As for my wife, her pregnancy flew by, and before we knew it, we had a beautiful baby girl to treasure and look after. We both love her with all of our hearts. She hasn't met my mom yet, as she still hasn't learned to act nicely, but it's only her who's missing out on such an amazing little girl. It just goes to show that whilst your child might always be your child in your eyes, they will eventually grow up and get on with their own lives and create their own families, and nothing can stop that from happening. The best thing to do is to just support your child no matter what and enjoy the special moments with them.